I actually went into this a while ago. My old tumble dryer is starting to squeak. The bearings are going. I've had it, 10 years, and it wasn't new when I got it. And I looked up into these heat pump dryers. It was quite hard to find out the wattage they use. They don't make that information readily available. A normal tumble dryer runs at about 3 kilowatts, and a heat pump dryer runs at about a kilowatt, 1,000 watts. That's a lot cheaper, obviously. However, like condenser dehumidifiers, they don't run efficiently below a certain temperature, which meant I couldn't have one because my dryer is in my shed, and my shed gets, I can't remember what the operating range is, but it's higher than you'd think. It's something like 15 degrees. And obviously, throughout the winter in an unheated, although insulated shed, it wouldn't operate properly. But I also looked it up and realised that using a combination of the fan, which as you saw runs at 30 watts, so there's a lot of hours. Heat pump dryers take longer to dry your clothes than vented dryers like mine do because they don't get as hot. So they do take longer, which is, whilst they are still cheaper, that obviously slightly makes them more expensive than you would think. Using the fan still worked out cheaper because in the money that it would take me to run the fan, I worked it out about 2 or 3 dryers load of clothes to dry. And if I use my dehumidifier at the same time, which I usually do, because actually it sits on the upstairs landing and just keeps the worst off. But if we move it downstairs and turn it up a little bit closer to the dryer to stop the damp getting into the house, it still doesn't run. My dehumidifier only runs at about 150 watts. So between the combination of the fan and the dehumidifier, I'm using about 200 watts, which is 1/5 of the cost of a dryer. So it's not, it's a damn sight more convenient. I'm not saying it's not more convenient. It is much more convenient to open a dryer, shut it, and have your clothes dried. No question about that. But it's not that much. It's still quite a difference. The thing I didn't find worked out very expensive, and I haven't used at all this, very economic, was the heated dryer. I haven't used that at all this winter. Annoying because that wasn't cheap either, but it didn't make that much difference. Didn't speed up the heating. But the fan on the ordinary rack, absolute winner.